What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am Joey Nitro. This is Joey Nitro RC. I haven't been around for a little while, but I'm back. I am in fine fettle. Earlier this morning I removed the transmission from that Savage XL there. I reset the shift points, hopefully, and we are on location here. We're going to go over there in a minute and try and get it, tune it up and see if it will shift from first to second, second to third. If you're new to this channel, please like, comment and subscribe, and that's about it. Okay guys, the first thing we're going to do is whip this transmission out and try and set the gear change. You need to take this bolt out here. This will then flip back. Take the air filter off, it'll give you access to this. You take this one, two on the other side, and this handle comes off. Then you can undo the lid, which is a further 3 or 4 screws, I'm not sure which. I think they're all 2mm apart from this one, which is 2.5. So I'm going to do that, and when I'm about to pull it off, I'll put you back on. Okay guys, I'm just about to pull the trans top off. There we go, it comes straight off. Keep the screws in there. As you can see on there, I have got shims on each corner because I've got FML gears in here, and when I installed them, the transmission was slightly binding if I did the case of the trans up very tight. So I just put shims on it just to take it out a little bit. And there is the transmission itself. So as you can see, you can adjust through that gap there, third gear, but to get to second gear you have to take this off. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to take these two off and access the second gear shift. Bearings off of both ends, and then you take this centrifugal clutch off, which is the hex underneath the one that you adjust it with, and there's 2 pins there. So the first thing is just a grub screw like this, one of those. Then this centrifugal clutch comes off the top, and then you just got to remember how it goes back on. The bearing stays in that gear there. On this particular trans there is a shim next, and then this gear, and that will give us access to that centrifugal clutch there, which is the second gear shift. Now I over tightened this last time. It's 2 3/4 turn past flush top line, so we are going to back it out. Okay, that's now flush, so 2 3/4. If I turn it this way, I can see my hex driver label. So 1, 2, and then 3/4 will be there, and that should be it. Obviously third gear needs adjusting as well, but I can do that while this is all reassembled back in the truck and it's running. So it's just reassembling this now. So you just put it back together exactly the same way as it came apart. So this gear goes on, then the shim, then this gear, so for anyone who's interested, these centrifugal clutches, they work in this way. So as you can see in that gearing there, you've got tangs there and there, and when this gets to a certain revolution, this is spinning so fast that the centrifugal force pushes out this little spring here. You can push it here and it pops up, but that's done by centrifugal force in the gearbox. That then locks onto that tang and obviously works like that way. Okay, that's back on. I just got to put the pins back in and we'll stick it back in the trans. Okay guys, the first pin is back in. I'm going to put this second pin back in, but I'm actually going to Loctite this one. I don't Loctite the first one, because if you Loctite this one, it should stop them both coming out. Some people actually Loctite the adjusting pin, the one above itself, and you just really don't want to do that, because A, you won't be able to adjust it, and B, if any of that Loctite gets into the mechanism in this clutch, it will bind it and it won't shift at all. So this is the only one that I will Loctite. Okay, so we're going to put the cluster back in, put a bearing on each end. These bearings feel nice and smooth still. They should do, because I replaced the nut that long ago. Well, not that much run time ago. So there we go. This is nice and tight now. It doesn't wobble like the original one, because these FML gears are made very, very well. And this will just sit into here. Just drops in lovely like that. Now I need to get this back on, and obviously I've got the shims there, so I need to be a bit careful. So this goes back on. Okay. Seems like it's made good contact. I can just do it up. Most of these are 2 mils on this trans as well. I think they all are actually. This is best to do up and then check to see it's not binding. Okay, that's making good contact. The mesh is perfect. So now we just need to put the other screws in. Now the only other thing, guys, is this screw here, the one that's front of the fuel tank, so not the one that's nearest the fuel tank, the one that's furthest away on this side is shorter. Also, when you tighten these into the case, if you tighten them too much, they bite into this plastic at the bottom, and then what you can have is a situation where you undo them but they're bound into the plastic, and so they keep spinning and don't come out, because when you do them up so tight they sort of lock in, melt the plastic a little bit or move the plastic around, then they get jarred, so they're very difficult to get out then. So just do them up tight, but not tight enough to start biting into the plastic and making more of a concave. Usually things that go into plastic don't move as much as metal to metal, so you wouldn't Loctite these. Loctite can actually damage plastics, melt them a little bit, attack them like an acid. So, well, because a lot of glues are acid, super glue is for starters. So just be a bit careful that you don't Loctite into plastic. It won't always be a problem, but you just don't know what plastics you've got. So I know that Loctite doesn't like Lexan body shells often. Okay, now this last one's a bit tricky because of this Extreme RC Mods pipe. By the way, this Extreme RC RC pipe, I know a lot of people recently have tried to get these. The guy started making and selling them again, and he took a lot of money and he went missing. But that is on him and not anyone else. None of my friends on my group or any of my friends, they may have known him, they may have done business with him before, but they are not responsible for any of his actions. They're not affiliated to him. At the end of the day, if you're going to be spending money getting stuff from people you don't know in different countries, we've all done it, we all have to do it, but you need to do something like going through PayPal or something like that where you can be protected, because anything can happen at any time on purpose or acts of God, and you know, you're left a lot lighter in the pocket and very, very annoyed, which I totally understand. But as much as the person who's selling has to take responsibility, you also need to take responsibility for your own money. Otherwise, a fool and his money are easily parted. Anyway guys, that is that. Hopefully this is now going to shift. Let's take it out, give it a rip, Joey Nitro style. Catch you in a minute. It's very, very cold here this morning. It's just 2 degrees above freezing. That is Celsius. So I'm sitting in the car warming up a little bit, trying to get the truck a little bit warm. But as I said, in a moment we will go over there and see what we can do. Catch you in a second. Okay guys, so here we go. The heat is on the top of the engine. I don't know how much good this is going to be in this freezing cold weather, but we'll try. And here is the Savage. I filled it with 25% nitro. I'm running a 2S LiPo battery. I've got the ERCM pipe. I've got a OS carb. I've got the LRP ZR 0.32. spec 4.1, and we are going to give it a go. It is absolutely freezing. Three gears, baby. 3-speed, baby. Third gear. So that trans worked out well. So let's listen. Second. Third. It's very icy on the floor, but it's just going mad. Third gear. Whoa! Well held. Well held. It's shifting first a little tiny bit early. First to second. There. And there, 2 and 3. This thing is nuts. Okay guys, so it is freezing cold, so Joey Nitro is going to sign off, but just goes to show that if you do a little bit of maintenance on the trans, they're not too difficult to get going. It was my own fault. I set the trans too tight. I went slightly further than was recommended, and it stopped it shifting, but now it's shifting fine. It couldn't be dialed in a lot better, and it will be. If there wasn't ice on the floor here, this thing would be flipping all the time. But as I said, it is freezing cold, so Joey Nitro is signing off. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your support, love and comments, and as always guys, those who know Nitro, and I'll catch you on the next one. Joey Nitro out.